You found the Live Local Marketing Podcast, where business owners share their knowledge about what's working in the market today. No fluff, just their experiences and stories from people who are making it happen. And if authentic, practical marketing resonates with you, be sure to visit livelocal.warmmarketing.com and learn to grow your business on warm marketing referrals. Now, on to the show.
Sorry.
Welcome. It was good. Welcome joining us for today. We're at the Live Local Warm Marketing Podcast, and today we're with Conor. Sir, how do we feel today?
We're rocking, Billy. Glad to be on the show.
Got to be on the show. We wore the black. We're matching up a little bit today. For those of you that are listening at home, we came in on black. It was part of the uniform attire for today's podcast. So,
indeed, sir. Yeah.
Indeed. All right, a little bit about Conor, and then we'll get right into the questions. Conor, he's happily exiled in Chicago, and he always says Guinness is good and people are friendly, and he's been force-fed some corned beef and green beer more than he's had in Ireland. Yeah, they love their Green River and all that stuff too. I'm sure you're acclimated.
True.
He's a keynote speaker, an award winner, humorist, multiple author, including 2 books about Mark Twain. His mission is to improve people, performance, and productivity with a smile. He's a former VP of marketing at Unilever. Irish has left in audiences from Harley Davidson to Helsinki, from Memphis to Madrid. As an Irish immigrant, he's very proud to have received from former President Obama the Gold Medal for volunteer service for work he does with the unemployed. That is a very impressive and eclectic resume, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Are we all set, ready to go with the questions?
Let's rock.
Let's rock. As an entrepreneur and a giver, what was your first win?
All right. My first win, Billy, and I'll go back to this actually, the corporate land, to when I realized I could make a difference to people, is that I was working in Ireland. I was VP of marketing for a company at the time, and we launched a product which was we were having difficulty getting traction with, and we actually had some quality problems with as well. And there was a real level of despair in the organization about it. What I did was I went to actually with our advertising agents, and I gave them a number of concepts to say that what we need to do is we need to find some examples of products or objects that didn't take off at the start, but eventually were successful.
Gotcha.
And the main one that we came up with, I don't know whether you remember this or not, but there was a wonderful TV series years ago called Hill Street Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Hill Street Blues, the first season or 2 it just wasn't getting any traction at all. Yeah. But over a period of time, it actually moved and became obviously an incredibly successful program. So what we actually did was I took a few examples from that, took a few little quotes from that program as well, the music of it. We put it into an audio, because it was audio at that time that we were working with, sent it out to all of the sales force. And I thought it was good, but what really made me happy was my CEO called me in and he said, Conor, you have, I can't remember him using the words, you've saved this concept. Mm-hmm. Now, that was a bit over the top, but they were the words he used. He was a very positive guy, made me feel upbeat a lot of the time. And what he was doing there was he was reinforcing the work that I had done and made me feel really good. And it was the first time maybe in my career I appreciated that, hey, I can make a real difference to people. And that is something that has stuck with me ever since. And that's what I try to do, to make a difference, to help people to grow their business or themselves.
All right. So based on that story, I have a quick follow-up. Do you find yourself more of a motivator or more of an operator, or a little bit of both? A quick break before we get to that next answer, because I know that answer is going to be brilliant, which is why I chose this moment to interrupt. If you love what you're seeing and you want to run your business off of warm marketing referrals, visit our website, livelocalwarmmarketing.com. It's got valuable resources, office hours, memberships, the book, an array of resources to help you get rid of cold calls, cold leads, door knocking, and run a business you can be proud of through referrals and warm marketing. Now, back to the show.
I think it's a little bit of both. I'm lucky, Billy. I've got a very upbeat personality, but I think it's not over the top, but I do think I'm able to convey that to people. And when I work hard to make people feel good about themselves. I say to leaders, you can't really improve most of your employees' net worth, but you can improve their self-worth with some basic positive comments, addressing them with their name, etc., and having them being recognized. And when you can improve your employees or your co-workers' self-worth, that actually generates better productivity than giving them $2.50 extra an hour or 50 grand bonus, whatever kind of environment that you're in.
That's very good. So that actually moves us right into the next question. I think I can kind of feel your answer is going to be, but what would you consider your best habit to be as an entrepreneur?
I think my best habit is that I genuinely try to approach things with a positive vibe and think about how I can approach it with a positive vibe. I mean, my best habit as an entrepreneur would be, I'll give you a very simple one. I do believe in the power of making people feel good, as I say, or putting a smile on people's face. Every time I fly, last week now, I was flew into JFK on American Airlines. I get on the plane, I use this line to every flight attendant. I say to them, I'm in seat 21B. I'd like my eggs over easy and some crispy bacon on the side. Okay. And that's an actual habit of mine. Sometimes I'll actually say, can I have the steak medium rare? And then last week, one of the flight attendants says, of course, sir. And you'd like some champagne with that as well. But what it does, though, is it's the power of a smile and making someone feel good, and the dopamine hitting. What it does is, I've got a smile on their face. I'm actually walking down now the first few rows of that airplane. I've got a smile on my face, and I know I've made someone feel a little bit better. So I think a habit of mine is to try and start the conversation in a way that is positive and upbeat, and then work from there. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm perfect, that I don't lose the rag from time to time, that I'm not annoying or a difficult negotiator, but I do think that starting from a good space is a good way to build business. And what I say, Billy, is that human beings mirror human beings' reaction.
Yeah.
And I don't think entrepreneurs, salespeople appreciate that enough.
That's absolutely true. Like making the joke or making the comment first lets down that guard, and then you can get into an actual real conversation with them.
Absolutely.
I can see that. Yeah, that's a great strategy.
Yeah.
So of all the different marketing strategies and things you're working on right now, what would you consider be your favorite that you get excited about helping others with?
Right. Well, in terms of the marketing strategy I'm working on right now, and I'm in the early stages of this, so this is a kind of a test market.
Yeah, good.
I have never been 100% convinced about LinkedIn. But what I have been doing, I'm getting a kind of a nod of agreement there, but what I have started doing in the last couple, let's say 8 weeks, one of my core concepts and programs is the surprising case for humor in sales. Okay,
oh, that's so good.
Yeah, and I love the reaction. That's the reaction I'm getting from people.
Yep.
So what I've started to do is I've started to put a newsletter out on a weekly basis on LinkedIn, outlining why if you can get your customers smiling just once or twice in the presentation, you're building a connection with them. My core belief is that the core benefit of adding humor to your presentation is not to make your client or your audience laugh. The core benefit of adding humor to your sales presentation is to build connection with the client by making them laugh or by making them smile based on relevant content and reinforcing your message via a little bit of humor, maybe a slide or a little a cartoon or a comment, etc. Not necessarily a joke. So what I've been doing now, Billy, in the last couple of weeks is I've started to do that newsletter. I've started to boost it, paying LinkedIn a small amount each for a couple of days each week. Yeah. I'll keep going with that for at least 6 months just to see what will happen. And I'm the objective is that people will see the Irish guy as being a thoughtful person on helping people to build their sales and to build their production if they're in financial services via this surprising case for humor in sales.
Your newsletter has examples, I hope.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I could give you a couple.
That's what I want.
Yeah, a couple of quick examples, for instance.
Yeah, do it.
And what I say is that you don't have to be a comedian to find the humor. So, for instance, one of the concepts I work on when I'm speaking with to people about employee engagement, I've got a concept called CHAPS, C-H-A-P-S. 5 things you can do to build employee engagement or teamwork. It's compliment, which is C. Second one is compliment one person each day. Second one is hear the words thank you from someone by doing something for them that will make them appreciate you a little bit more. A, Billy, is for address people with their name, because the most powerful word you can use in conversation with me, Billy, is Conor. The most powerful word, I think, impactful word I can have in a conversation with you is Billy. Not over the top, but just once or twice in the presentation. So I've got this chap's concept: compliment, hear the words, thank you, address people with the name. I was doing a program just before Christmas, and I was asking the audience, all right, so we got compliment, hear the words, thank you, address people with the name. What do you think the next letter in the P stands for? And someone shouts out, pterodactyl.
See, they get it. They get it. They're on board.
They get it. But what happens then is the whole room laughs. The oxytocin so you're still going at it. But the brilliant thing about that is I can use that every single time now I'm talking about the chap's concept, and it's relevant. Yeah. The P actually stands for positive. Say something positive to people today. The final lesson, the chap's concept, is put a smile on someone's face. But my point is that if you can just bring relevant humor, reinforcing your message to your audience, you're going to connect better with them. And that's just one example where I say you don't have to be funny to be funny. Just pay attention to the humor around you. Yeah. Listen to it recorded, and you will get content that you can use to add connection and to build production, sales, build your business, etc.
So you say, all right, so when we move on from content, that was the key word here. So content, do you do any video type content too, or is it mostly the words? Because when you do smile on the face, like a lot is dependent on facial expressions and gestures. You can have a creepy look on your face and tell the great joke and it still won't land. Yeah. Do you do video to help this as well?
I do. I mean, I've got a video now I'm putting up on my YouTube channel, Irishman Speaks, around this concept. But here's the challenge now for entrepreneurs as well. I used to get quite a number of business from SEO prior to the advent of AI. So if someone, I speak a lot to oncology markets and cancer survivors, etc. I've had 2 bouts of cancer myself over the years. So I have a lot of videos up online about if you're looking for a humorous motivational speaker for a cancer survivorship event, or humorous motivational speaker, Nurses Week kind of thing. I get a lot of business from that. AI comes along and it pushes all of the YouTube searches, etc., further down. So what I'm now doing is I'm continuing to push a lot of video up on my YouTube channel. I'm putting some video out on LinkedIn as well. The LinkedIn newsletters do contain some video elements as well. So for me, excuse me, as a presenter with an Irish brogue, which is a differentiator by itself, video is a very worthwhile tool for me. And I think I'm very comfortable in front of the camera now. Yeah. I think I can tell good stories in front of the camera as well. And video, I think for entrepreneurs, if you're a tradesperson or a local plumber or something like that, I do think just doing basic videos about how to change the faucet in your bathroom or something like that is a great way to build your business. You do not have to be perfect at all. And in fact, the more imperfect you are with those kind of videos, almost the better you can get the result.
That is excellent. All right, awesome. So as you're mixing this humor and you got content and you're meeting clients and you're helping them with their businesses, how do you mix the brand with the humor? Because it can sometimes be distracting having humor or focusing on the humor, especially if you're nervous, mixing the brand in with it. How do you have those conversations with your clients?
Right. Well, I've got to understand who my audience is. And this is where you do a little bit of research. So for instance, if I'm speaking to a group of oncology nurses and I'm brought in to motivate them and make their day feel better, what I do is I'll tell a lot of good stories. I'll have a lot of humor in there, and the humor stories will reinforce the messaging. I mean, one simple little example I use, which is a line I use when I'm talking to the event planner, for instance, in the healthcare area, is I've had 2 bouts of cancer over the years. I've had a thyroid and prostate, and they've whipped both of them out. So what I say to the event planner is that having had a thyroidectomy and a prostatectomy, I now have an Irish condition known as there's not much left of me. Okay? Yeah, right? So what does that do? It gets the event planner laughing and joking. We build a better bond. Now, I don't use that level of humor when I'm doing keynotes to salespeople or to marketing people on branding. But what I do try to do is I try to show good messages, good business messages about. So when I talk about branding, for instance, I've got this concept called the Gift of GAB: goals, attitude, and behavior. And the basic point of behavior is that your behavior creates your brand. Your behavior determines what people say about you, and what people say about you is your brand. Your behavior creates your brand. Your behavior determines what people say about you. What people say about you is your brand. So that's the kind of serious messaging I will bring to the branding stroke marketing side of it. But within apart from that, though, there is good humorous anecdotes throughout the 45-minute or 60-minute presentation that will have people remembering the messages that I have left them with.
That is the key. So the key part of that, your answer there, is that they have to align. The humor, the stories have to align with the message. You need the message first. You need your branding first.
Yeah,
and then everything else that support it. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Humor is a reinforcing mechanism.
Yeah.
It is not the mechanism or the objective either for your presentation, is what I say.
Gotcha. Got it. That makes complete sense. No. What have you been using as far as AI? What are some of your favorite strategies for AI these days, if any?
Oh, what day is today? Because it was changed since yesterday, probably.
Probably has. You're right. Yeah.
I tell you now, I have got on my iPhone, I have got 7 different AI apps on my iPhone. So we've got Gemini, Chat, Claude, Perplexity, which I think is good. Grok. I've also got Notebook LM, which for me is actually the most interesting one right now.
Yeah, it is.
Notebook LM. A couple of reasons why I like Notebook LM. One is, excuse me, I do a lot of research on the neuroscience of humor, so I can be able to justify some of the comments I make about humor and this unexpected case for humor in sales. What I've done there, Billy, is that I've taken a lot of research papers, popped them into Notebook LM, and what they do in Notebook LM, as you obviously are familiar, is they kind of create a conversation between 2 people, taking all of the content. So when I'm working out, I'll be listening to that, and I find it really invaluable. The other thing we have used Notebook LM or ChatGPT in the last week is I did a presentation to National Speakers Association Illinois chapter just 2 weeks ago, virtual, on adding humor to your presentation. 2-hour workshop, virtual. Went very well, and I got a very nice response to it. But what I did was I took the transcript of that presentation, gave it to Chat, gave them the slides that I had used as well, and asked Chat to critically evaluate the presentation. And as I tell people, Chat's first response was, "You mean you get paid for this kind of thing?" So, no, it wasn't. It didn't. Excuse me. Gave me very good response to it, but it also did highlight a few areas where I needed to tighten up, because doing a workshop is different to doing a keynote. I mean, when I'm doing a keynote, I kind of know line for line where I'm going, what the reaction is going to be to each comment, etc., how long I need to wait for the audience to smile or get their bearings again. Doing a workshop, you do tend to jump around the place, and it's that content very good, but you need to work better on your transitions. Also made some good comments about the slides I was using. So I thought that was a really valuable use of AI for me that will help me to present even better the next time.
That's really good. The feedback element of it. So I've used Chat a little bit, and so I think I'm annoyed by the same thing you're probably annoyed with. It's always too positive. Like, I just tell me what I want to hear. You don't need to sugarcoat it. Stop telling me all these nice things. Just get right to it.
Well, I agree with you. Oh, Conor, you're absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's like a 3-year-old grandkid talking to you, like,
yes, yes.
But what I have actually gone out to stage where I'm telling you to be discerning. You can actually put settings on it. And on this one, I said to critically evaluate. I also asked Grok to do this evaluation. Perplexity, which I really do like, and Perplexity gave me some good points as well. It was probably the most critically helpful of any of the ones that I used.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's a great use of it. I never thought of some of those things, so I'm gonna have to adjust my use. So you're very big in the positive space. Let's do a talk. Let's have somebody who's running their business, but confidence isn't there. They're working at lower levels. They're ready to make bigger clients, sell to bigger people. What's the conversation you have with them, helping them, make that next leap?
Right. I think we'd start off by, prior to meeting them, I try and do my own research in the business, and then we'd ask them questions about it. But I think the core question I would ask is, what do you want to be famous for? I.e.,
that's good.
It's kind of a vision question statement, but I would put it as a question. What is it you want your customers to be saying about you after you have dealt with them? Or let's say there's an industry magazine and you're the person of the year. What does the headline and the opening sentence say in that article? And if you have a clear idea of what you want your customers to be saying about you, that I think is the framework you can use then to get your customers to start saying things about you. So if you want to be known as the best plumber in the local neighborhood, for instance, or the best chiropractor, what is it you want Mrs. Murphy or Mr. Lanigan to be saying when they're referring you to other people? Now, if they say, all right, what is really important? I want the plumber, I want to be seen to be punctual, keep my promises, which would be unusual for a plumber, and be cost effective or not too expensive. Have a good customer service kind of vibe as well. So what is it that I need to do to be able to make those things happen? And if I can start off with knowing where I want to be, I can start going there.
I think you're probably very good at this, helping people self-talk too. You seem like the kind that you're like helping them with the inner monologues, telling them that what they need to do, identifying in those people. Would I be pretty, is that a very far-fetched guess?
Absolutely. And I joke, as I say, about the importance of a compliment. I mean, I could say, like, you can always find some ways to compliment people, like saying something like, whoa, you're not as stupid as you were yesterday,
That's always a good one.
But quite seriously, though, in terms of the compliment, and this is actually another one for entrepreneurs at your basic market. If you are working with a few people, ask them each morning, what did we do well yesterday?
Yes, that's good.
If you ask them, what did we do well yesterday, someone is going to say something positive. That gives you the chance to say, fair play, well done. I'm delighted that we worked it that way. What are you now doing? You're creating a vibe in the room that we have to achieve something positive yesterday. You're actually complimenting one of your colleagues. The other colleagues in the room see the compliments going around. They're saying, wow, this is a kind of a positive environment to work in. I do think no matter how much trouble you're in as an organization, the first question on the weekly meeting should be, what did we do well last week? Because you're going to get to the problems very fast. You're going to get to the bitching, moaning, and complaining very fast. But if you can start out with a positive, you're setting a tone and a vibe that will help people to be more open and to make people believe that, we are making a difference.
Yeah. As my grandfather was famous for, he always used to say at the end of the day, like, hey, even if today didn't go well, we got more done today than we had done yesterday.
That's actually very good. Yeah.
That's every time. Yep. Yeah. He always said that. And he always made you feel a little good. Even if it was a rough day, you're like, you know what? He's right. Yeah. I feel you did a little bit more than yesterday. So, all right. Awesome. I love the mindset shift. I'm going to start using more humor, especially my LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's a very serious place. So that was great advice as well. Let's head into your outro, talk about your business and where people can get a hold of you for more information.
Okay. Well, the name is Conor Cunneen. As you can see there, there's only one N in Conor. My parents couldn't afford two N's back in Ireland, Billy. Okay. All right.
It's a lot. You're expensive.
That's right. But again, that's just another simple little line I always use. And if you are able to come up with a few evergreen pieces of humor, you can use them again and again and again, and you'll get positive reaction. So the brand is Irishman Speaks, all one word, Irishman Speaks. I'm on my website is Irishman Speaks, Twitter, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, all Irishman Speaks. What I basically try to do is I work with organizations to improve their people, performance, and productivity with a smile. And what I like to believe, Billy, and I know the evaluations are giving me this as well, is that I will leave organizations or an audience at a keynote with a smile in the face, with a spring in the step, and with some memorable, actionable takeaways to help them to keep on keeping on and achieve the goals that I have been brought in to help them to work with. So it's irishmanspeaks.com, and it's been a long, wonderful journey. I am blessed that I have a job that gives me so much job satisfaction.
That's amazing. Now the newsletter is a new newsletter. I can do that through the website, or can I do that on LinkedIn?
Newsletter is on LinkedIn. Conor Cunneen.
Okay, I'm definitely doing that
on LinkedIn. Yeah.
I really need to be funnier. Yes. That's the key to that's what I've learned. I learned I need to be funnier for these things. So.
Yeah. And what I say, Billy, is you do not have to make people laugh. Just make them smile, because the same neural pathways will open up in the brain and make the conversation and the connection better. When I'm doing the program on adding humor to your programs or your presentations, I now say people, forget about making them laugh, because that's too hard for a lot of people initially. Just work on putting a smile on their face, and you're going to build that better connection.
Awesome. I hope as the audience, you have a smile on your face listening to this podcast. Sir, we appreciate your time and your help today. And you have a wonderful day. Hopefully it gets a little warmer there in Chicago this upcoming week.
Fingers crossed for you as well, man. All right. Really enjoyed it, Billy. Take care and stay well. Good show.